I will need all of you to switch on your videos. I don't see any one of you switching on. You know the rules. How long is my class? Ankit, can you tell me? I have class from 12 to 12:45, is it?
12:50.
12:50. Okay, great. Thank you, children. No fans on your face. Proper focus, please. Thank you. I'm waiting for a few more who have not switched on. Keep your videos on. Rishi, Dia, Amitesh, what happened? I know that you're joining from home, yet the rule of the class is we keep our videos on. Correct? Right. Uh, okay. Right. So, children, you can look at the whiteboard. Start with the do now. I'm giving you 2 to 3 minutes. Refer to your previous class notes in your copies and write the structure of hexane, ethine, and benzene. Come on, get started. You have a minute more. You can refer. This is not a test, but individual work. No talking, no asking your friend. You can refer to your copies, textbooks. You're doing it individually without talking to your friend. Give me a thumbs up once you're done. Think whether it'll have a single bond, double bond, triple bond. Think about the prefix and suffix I gave you last class. If it's an ane, ane, what type of bond will it have? If it's an ein, children stop. I'll have to, yeah, let me figure out ways to stop annotation. Children stop annotating, please. I'll have to figure out disable annotation because this is a new version of Zoom that I've downloaded. It asked me to update this morning. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I have disabled few options. I hope it helps. Just give me a second. Let me just check. Okay. Right. Okay. Still, people are, see, you're all more busy playing with the whiteboard rather than, you know, Okay, it's going to take me a while to figure out disable. Okay, can we stop playing, children? One second. Okay, I'm closing the whiteboard for now. Okay, right. Uh, I don't want to see the fans. Arpita, Riddhi, Rishi, Abhijit, you have not switched on your video. Ankit, Shweta, right? Okay. So what we're going to do today, today's class is a new concept. We're going to study something called as functional groups. Okay. Please pay attention. I know that all of you are excited to play with the new features in Zoom, but please do understand, I don't get too many classes with all of you. Today, sir is not around, so I've opted to take a class with all of you. This will be a definite question in your board. What I'm going to discuss today will be the most likely question that is coming up in your board exam. So please focus on the content and not on scribbling on the board, resizing the content on the board, and things like that. Okay? If you promise that, we can go ahead. Otherwise, this class is going to be of no use to you, and probably sir has to repeat whatever I taught you again, and you will end up wasting time. And the pre-boards in other states, the schools that are taking are starting from 9th of December in Karnataka and other states. So imagine all schools are done with their syllabus by this week. All the schools that I know are wrapping up their syllabus. So if there is no cooperation from your end, then we'll have to extend it. Okay, only you are losing. I am not going to lose anything. Okay, if you delay my class, I am not at the receiver's end. Okay, I will say that I was able to finish only this much. Right? Who's going to lose? You think about it. Okay, so please, with that note, let's get started. So I want you all to turn to mine is a very old version. So my page number will not match with your book. In mine, it is page number 66. Basically, I'm looking at this green color box. Okay. Dia, can you tell me the page number in your version?
166.
66. Wonderful. Abhijit, your textbook?
Same.
Same? Okay, great. Now, we're going to study the functional group. Remember, what are the two important properties of any carbon compound? What are the two important properties of any carbon compound? Two classes ago, I told you, right? What are the important properties? What is the first property? Anyone, you can unmute and tell me. What is the first property? What is it called? Look at your textbooks. I told you two important properties. Look at your textbook and tell. Catenation. What is catenation? And tetravalency. Thank you, Ankit. Right? So I want one of you to look into your book and tell me what is catenation and what is tetravalency. Anyone. But I want you to answer, no typing on the chat. And I can see whoever is writing, I know who's writing. I can make a list of students who are just trying to put their cursors around. You need not write. Okay. I'm going to write. I'm going to share, right? So just look at the board. Uzma, can you please focus and tell me what is catenation? Any one of you. Last time I made you underline it also. Look at your
Ma'am, the
highlighted.
said linear
very
property of carbon.
Aparna, tell.
Ma'am, the same
Tell Aparna. Complete your sentence.
ma'am, the said linear property of carbon.
Linking, self-linking property of carbon. Very good. Yeah. Anybody else would want to say? Self-linking here means you can attach as many carbons as possible. You can keep it. That's why we saw, right? We saw methane, we saw ethane, we saw propane, butane, pentane, hexane, right? And you can keep adding as many carbons as you want. Correct? Now, tetravalency. What is tetravalency? Somebody else.
Carbon has a valency of 4.
Carbon's valency 4 presents a perfect situation where chemical bonding can happen. Covalent bonding. Correct? Covalent bonding is happening. Right? So these are the two important things we spoke about. Now, keeping this catenation in mind, I want all of you to keep this. Next time when I ask you, you should be in a, that means none of you have touched your notebooks. None of you can tell me catenation unless, I gave you so much of time. And thank you, Aparna, for bringing it. Right? So none of you were able to tell me. So time up, children. So please start studying. Yes, Diwali was around. All of you had a good time. But please start studying. Every class, we cannot be teaching you what we taught 2 classes ago. That's not possible, right? At grade 10 level. You have to read and come. Okay? Now, keep this catenation in mind. Now, let's write together. Okay? Now, I'm going to put what is the structure called as? What is the structure called as? What is the name of the structure?
Ma'am,
Why only Aparna is answering? What about others? Others are busy playing on the board.
yours answer. Yours answer.
I want somebody else to answer. What is the name of the structure?
Ma'am, propane.
Propane. Thank you. Propane. Correct. Why propane? It has how many carbons? 1, 2, 3. Are we seeing any double bonds? No. So it has 3 carbon. The prefix is prop and it has only single bond. Hence it is called as ane. It's an example for an alkane. Now, I'm telling you, carbon is so versatile because of the property of catenation. I can remove one. Let me see if I can use a different color. See here. I can remove one hydrogen. Okay. I can remove off this hydrogen and substitute it with multiple other elements or something called as a group. Okay, that is what we are going to see. What can I substitute instead of H? Okay, the atom that is getting substituted is called as heteroatom. Okay, I want all of you to underline the definition of heteroatom. Take out your pencils or sketch pens or highlighters. Page number 66. Look at the first the fourth line from the top. The element replacing hydrogen is referred to as a heteroatom. I want all of you to quickly underline that. Anybody not able to look at that? Just give me a second. Okay. Right? Have you all underlined, children? Right. Now, let's look at the 4 important groups. Okay. Now, keep your notebooks ready. As I'm writing, I want all of you to write along with me. Okay. So, let's make a table in your notebook. I hope you can see the table that I have made here. Okay. I'm making it random. Okay. Let me use black. Let me increase the thickness. Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's coming really light. Let me try. Yeah, I hope it comes now. Okay. So first you write heteroatom. Is it too light, children? Are you able to see? Are you able to see what I'm writing? Or I'll use no? Okay, I'll use a text then. 1 second. Let me just clear the screen. Are you all having the new version of Zoom or are you having the old version? Children?
Ma'am, the old one.
Oh, I have a latest version, so the entire thing has changed. And it's the first time I'm seeing this version. So it's going to take me a while to get used to it. No, the entire thing has changed, children. That's why I'm also struggling here because it looks very, very different from the older version. And I'm just seeing it. I did not have time to practice. Usually I do, but today it just updated me and I took an update and I have a brand new version of Zoom. Like the sharing options completely look different from before. Okay. So, anyway, doesn't matter. I'm trying my level best. Let's type and see. No, it's not working. Okay. What I want all of you to do is let me stop sharing this. 1 second. Let me do one thing. I'll take out a sheet and I will write. This is okay. Let me stop sharing screen. Let me try a note and send instead. No. Yeah, I've closed the whiteboard for now. Okay. Now just look at the alcohol group. First one. Look into that green color table. Alcohol. Okay. It is OH. Okay. First, we have to write. Let me share a document from my end. That way, it's easier for me to type and show it to you. Just give me a second. Let me open a doc, a sample doc that I can work on because the board is something that I need practice with. Create an sample doc. Okay. Right. Now let me share the screen. Okay. I hope all of you are able to see my document. Okay. So let me also increase my font size so that all of you can see. Functional groups. Can you see, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. First one we are looking at is alcohol, which is written as OH. Okay. Now for example, now let me take the first member of the alkane. What is the first member of alkane? We wrote it last class. What is the name of the first member of an alkane? Alkane series.
Methane.
Ma'am, methane.
Methane. Right? What is the formula of methane?
CH.
CH4, right? Four things are there, correct? I can't draw the structure here. CH4, all of you remember? Now what I'm going to do is, I need the board. One second. For this alone, we will use the whiteboard. Let me take a new one. Right. Okay. So now try and see here. When we wrote methane, it was like this. Correct? Correct or not? Now what I'm going to do is I am going to replace this H. This is the heteroatom. I am going to replace this with the new group, which is OH. Look here. See, please write along with me. H, H. Instead of H, I am using OH, the functional group, alcohol. Now what will happen? Suffix will change. Methane has become methanol. All is this alcohol ends with all. Methanol. Can we write the second member? What is the second member of an alkane?
Methane.
Ethane. Can you convert it to ethanol? Let me clear this. Have you all written this down? Can I clear the board?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Clear page. Now, ethane. Add another carbon. I hope my screen is clear now. When your tetravalency, each carbon must be attached to 4 chemical bonds. Correct? This is ethane. Convert it to ethanol. So you have to replace the last hydrogen. Very last one. Replace it with OH, C, C, C. Put your hydrogen bonds around. I'm sorry, children, I put one extra C. I'm going to erase that one. I'm sorry. Now, C, H, OH. This becomes ethanol. The formula will be C2H5OH. OH, please don't split it. OH is the alcohol group. Okay? OH will be the alcohol group. Can you do the third member now? I'm not going to show it. You're going to do it for convert propane to propanol. Write propane first, put an arrow mark and convert it to propanol. Are you done, children? Have you converted it to propanol?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the next one is called aldehyde. Look here. Look at the last carbon. Look at the board, everybody. Look at the board. Look at the last carbon that you have. This is the last carbon. It is attached to one carbon, one hydrogen, double bond oxygen. This is called as aldehyde. This functional group is called aldehyde. Okay. Now, let's start it with ethane or methanol also we can do later. First, let's start with ethane. We all know ethane formula. This is ethane formula, correct? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace these two hydrogen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, let me write it in red only. CH double bond O H H H. This is nothing but CH3CHO. This is ethanal. Suffix is al, aldehyde, alcohol, ol. Naming the compound is based on the functional group. If you have a hetero atom, if you have a hydrogen that is getting replaced by oxygen, you have to look out for the functional group, ethanal. Okay, can we do methanol now? How many of you are not following? Please raise your hands. See, this will take some time. Be patient with the content. But once you understand, it is very, very simple. Okay. So next class, maybe I'll ask Shoibal sir. Once he finishes off the portions, you will need 2 more classes to finish. Once he finishes, I will ensure that he's giving you enough practice on these structures. Okay. So let's go and write methanol now. First you write methane. Methane is this, all of you know. There's only one carbon. Okay. So methanol will be like this. That's it. This is called as methanol. This is methane. Methane is getting converted into methanol if you introduce a double bond O. Okay. So what are the two groups we have finished so far? We have finished. What are the two groups? Okay, let me call out names and ask. Huzaifa, tell me one functional group that we worked.
Ma'am, alcohol.
Alcohol. And Shweta, tell me the other functional group that we have worked.
Ma'am, aldehyde.
Aldehyde. Okay. We'll go to the third functional group. The third functional group is called as ketone. Third one, third functional group, ketone. How is that group? Look at carbon. It should be linked to two things on either side. Look at the bond, how I have put, it cannot be at the end, like how I taught you before. This is in between. Okay. And suffix will be own, O-N-E. For example, I'm going to start with, in this case, I will tell you it is better that we use long chain carbon atoms to understand ketone. Otherwise, you will get confused between an aldehyde and ketone. So let's start with long chain first and then look at the short chain. So I'm going to start with propane. All of you write propane along with me. Quickly write. By now, you should be able to write quick. Okay, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to look at the center carbon atom. Children, please remember ketones are always in the center. So now rewrite it. Carbon, bond, carbon, bond, carbon. First carbon, attach 3 hydrogen as usual, no doubt about it. Now comes our ketone group, C double bond O. Now the tetravalency is satisfied for the center carbon. Now fill in the terminal carbon, the last carbon. Okay, this is called as propanone. Look at the functional group here. This is the functional group. Please box the functional group so that it stands out to you. Box it. Initially, let's learn it like that. Then later on, you need not box it. For time being, you should know what the functional group is. Can we do butanone? Children, you can start with butanone. Put the ketone in the second carbon. Butanone. Put the ketone group in the second carbon. Let me write the formula of butanone. I need 4 carbons. I'm telling you, put the functional group in the second carbon. Tetravalency. Please, you have to remember that. Whenever you draw the bonds, you have to remember there can be at the most 4 bonds around a carbon. If there is a double bond, you will consider it as 2 bonds. Okay, this is called as butanone. Butanone. Write it down. Last one, the fourth functional group that we are going to study is carboxylic. Be careful with the spelling. Acid. C double bond O OH. It will be in the last carbon. In other words, it is called as COOH. Suffix, please write all of this down. Oic acid. Oic acid. Let's look. Let's look at methanoic acid. HCOOH. Methanoic acid. There is only one C. Does anybody know the other name for methanoic acid? You have studied it in acids and bases. What is the other name?
Formic acid.
Formic acid. Both mean the same. But according to nomenclature, you call it as methanoic acid. The second one, carbon bond carbon. H. Okay, let me clear and write. Are you all writing, children? I'll give you a few seconds and then we will write the second member. I'll clear the board and write so that everybody can see properly. Focus on your work, children, not on the board, especially boys. Focus on your work. One structure, 100% is coming for your board. I'm telling you now itself. You should be able to identify the functional group and name it. It's not that difficult. Okay, let me clear and write the next one. Let's all write ethanoic acid. Write along with me. Second one, ethanoic acid. C bond C. Okay. First C is normally having, as usual, 3 hydrogen bonds, whereas our second carbon atom or the terminal carbon, the last carbon atom, is having the functional group. This is called as ethanoic acid. Suffix. Prefix is the same. Meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, like that. Ethanoic acid. Okay. Last one for the day. Let me clear the screen. Last one is called, now, so far we looked at oxygen. Okay, the hetero atom was oxygen. You had an oxygen along with hydrogen or it was replacing hydrogen. The last one we're going to look at is chlorine or bromine being the hetero atom. I'll show you both. Okay, so let's take the normal propane. Okay, so now look at this. This is very simple. Just replace one hydrogen, the last hydrogen, with bromine or chlorine. If you have bromine, it's called bromopropane. If you replace it with chlorine, what will it be called? Ankita,
Chloropropane.
what will it be called? If you replace bromine with chlorine, what will it be called? Ankita, what will you call the compound when you replace bromine with chlorine? Chloropropane. All of you, can you write chloropropane by yourself? Okay. Now, page number 69, fifth question. I want all of you to do it in your textbook. There are three structures. Three structures are given. Let me close this. One second, children. Just not closing for some reason. Yeah. Write the names in your textbook. Question number 5 on page 69. We are winding up in a minute or two. 12:50, I'm supposed to end the class. So it is 12:40. Yeah, it's 12:50. Just finish this. Quickly, you have to identify. The first structure, I'm going to call out names. You're going to tell me. Rishi, first structure. I don't want any chat, children, please. Rishi,
Bromoethane.
sorry, louder.
Bromoethane.
Bromoethane. Thank you. Correct. Pooja, second structure, we wrote it. Pooja,
Yes.
second structure, what is the name? There is one carbon. Tell loudly, ma, I can't hear you.
Ma'am, methanol.
Methanol. Right? CHO. Can you see the aldehyde group there? CHO, methanol. Thank you, Pooja. Ashna, third one is slightly different. We have a triple bond.
Ma'am,
So what is the suffix? Yes, Ashna, go ahead.
hexane.
Hexine. There are 6 carbon atoms, but it has a triple bond. There are no functional groups. There are no functional groups. There is a triple bond. Go back to your older class and see when there is a triple bond, I told you the suffix will be yne, Y-N-E. And there are 6 carbon atoms, hexine. Okay, right. I'm going to stop right here. How many of you have trouble following this nomenclature? Please raise your hand so that I can see. It's not to corner you or something. It's about planning backup classes. That's why backup meaning not making you stay or something like that. Once we finish the chapter, I can probably take online class for some of you who have trouble with this chapter. That's why I'm asking. So how many of you did not understand anything of what I have taught you in the last 3 classes I have been visiting your class? Those of you who have not understood, please raise your hand so that I'll know. I'm giving you 10 more seconds to raise your hand. Okay. I don't see any hands raised. That means you have understood. Okay, you're going to complete question number pentane we will do later. Question number 3, question number 4 at home. Question number 3 and 4 as homework. Sir will follow it up. Okay. Okay, children. So I think we are done with today's class. Thank you for the cooperation. See you all. Bye-bye. Bye, children. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
ma'am.
Bye-bye.